This is a tribute to our pal Julian Nubaby, who passed away on August 28th. To the best of my knowledge, Julian was around 9 years old. He spent 5.5 of those years with us as our beloved Nubaby. Miles and I adopted Julian on March 16th, 2020, after I saw a social media post of shelter kitties who had been waiting over a month for their forever home. My eyes instantly locked in on this gorgeous, sad-looking little guy, and I knew that I had to meet him. I'd never felt that way before, but I knew to lean into it, so I met him a few days later, and I fell in love right away. Julian was the sad cat in the back of the shelter. His first family had surrendered him a month prior because of an eviction. I don't know more than that, but he was 13 pounds at intake, in good health, and absolutely gorgeous. All evidence that pointed to a loving family making the only choice that they thought they could. But the lived consequence of that is that he was permanently separated from his home and his family, and it showed, which says nothing of the effects of living in a shelter environment for over a month. The shelter staff told me he hadn't been eating much and wasn't very engaged, but within a few short minutes of putting a cautious finger to his nose and talking to him softly over careful scritches, he was purring and bumping his cheek against my finger, so maybe it wasn't a him problem so much as a them problem. Anyway, it didn't matter. He was coming home with us. Miles and I had a wonderful home waiting just for him. Acclimating Julian to Miles took a few weeks. Him acclimating to me took a bit longer. Once he was out of his initial safe room, he began moving incrementally closer to my pandemic workspace, a few feet at a time, occupying the space behind a piece of furniture or what have you, living there and being fed there for a few days, till he moved closer still behind the next piece of furniture, until June 2020, when he jumped atop my desk, plopped right down, and then never left. My Twitch and later YouTube friends loved him immediately, and I'm just so glad that he had you. Every stream, every video, he was present and participant and adored. On March 16th, 2021, the first anniversary of his arrival, we celebrated Nubaby Day right on stream, during which he was formally named Julian. We had a lot of good times as a YouTube community, too many to recount. I think my favorite moment was in mid-2021. We randomly started playing and he was having a blast right up until the moment he wasn't. I couldn't get him to re-engage his toy. Eventually, he walked off camera in the direction he usually did, but then he came back past the camera in the opposite direction. You had no way of knowing this, but there was absolutely nothing over there but me and a second monitor. He'd never been over there before and never went over there again. I'm convinced he did it that one time for comedic effect. What a little showman. A couple of months later, YouTube captured what is my favorite thumbnail of all time, during, of all things, a dusk stream requested by our own Cougar 2K. This was Julian's favorite way to be loved on, and I cherish that it's preserved this way forever. Over the next 3 years, Julian's anxiety subsided markedly, bit by bit, trigger by trigger, and I got to watch him thrive. Though when he was annoyed, and Lord knows I could annoy him, he would let me know with the world's best stink eye. I savored every last moment of it. He was safe, loved, and teeming with personality. But I think I got to know him best after Miles crossed the Rainbow Bridge in January 2024, as we grieved Miles' passing as a family and then began to move forward in our new dynamic. There were times during those months where I found myself idly thinking about elder Nubaby in the years to come. What would Julian be like during his senior years? And it pains me that I'll never get to find out, because just a few months later, Julian would be diagnosed with, well, a lot, eventually resulting in a diagnosis that would give us just 3 to 6 months left together as a family. Julian gave us 9. 9 comfortable, joyful, purr-filled but normal and quiet months. And when the time came to say goodbye, it was my honor to be there, right by his side. You've heard me talk a bit about Julian's anxiety and abandonment that subsided but did follow him throughout his life. You'd be forgiven if your takeaway from that is that I think myself an amazing cat parent, because I don't, because I wasn't. There was never a shortage of love or good intentions, but performance-wise, I'd evaluate myself as middling at best. I made lots of mistakes. So instead, the point is just how daring Julian was beyond those traumas, beyond my mistakes. He took a strange elder tabby and a weird human and made us his family while allowing our home to be his. And I'm just so grateful that he did. I learned a lot about courage from Julian, and from the very start, I'm so much better off for having known and loved him. I just wish it all didn't have to end so soon. Julian, I was honored to be your human. Thank you for being my new baby. I will miss you so, so dearly. Please give my love to Miles until I see you both again. Run free, kitty. I love you.